We are live, people. What's going on? I know you're looking around. You're going, "Where the hell is he?" I'm in my car. I know. It's weird. I'll explain it in a minute. Let's just get this episode started first. Let's make sure everyone in Facebook land can see us, because you know what that's all about. All right. Let's go. We are live. I want to be able to see everything you guys say. So, of course, like, share, comment, do all that Facebook bullshitty stuff that we do. It's going to be great. We're going to have a lot of fun. I'm very excited about this guest because I'm always excited about this guest. I like this guest an awful lot. You could even say that we get along really well. Yes, Kyron, let's fucking go. I'm with you. Um, yeah, okay, so I'm in my car. Why the fuck am I in my car? Well, because tonight's guest is none other than my wife. And we have a smaller house, and to be in the same if you guys have ever seen us live together, like usually what has to happen is I turn off my sound. I am in my car, yeah. Uh, um, I have to turn off my sound, and then Wendy will speak. And when I'm speaking, I can be heard through her speaker, and that would just make it all fucked up. It is chaos, but it's controlled fun chaos. So yeah, we're gonna have a blast today. My dear, amazing wife Wendy is gonna come on the show. We're gonna have such a good time. You're in the car because she kicked you out again, didn't she? It wasn't kicked out. I just left of my own volition. Is that fair? Whatever. Anyways, I say we just start the show and we move forward. Is everybody good with that? So, without too many more ados, let's fucking do it.
Canadian bacon is actually really good, and it's nothing like normal bacon, and it's better than ham, which you guys seem to call Canadian bacon. I'm very good at writing. I write very well. Yeah, it's Shop Talk.
Do some of your audience members like the word fuck? Cool. Then I'm going to keep saying fuck. Because I care.
Wyndi freaking Gayle. How you doing, lady?
I'm okay.
Good. How's the house?
Probably better than the car.
That's not bad. I mean, at any moment I could, have some AC going. Oh, but I turned on the radio. Oh, this is so fucking funny.
We're going to hear your soundtrack as we do our interview.
Right? Yeah, exactly. And of course, that would mean that on YouTube, no one could listen at all. John's giving you some love.
Hey, John.
Mr. Westhoff. Boom. Way to go. Hey, by the way, John's got a Kickstarter.
I like that I have the bacon.
I like that you have the bacon, too. John's got a Kickstarter going on. John, share that Kickstarter. Tell us all about your Magic the Gathering and Simpsons book. Please do. Share it for everybody. You know this is a safe haven of sorts. And actually, speaking of that bacon, Wendy, Kyron asks, what is your favorite bacon?
My favorite bacon? Oh, I don't know. I like syrup on my bacon, so... But I guess just a normal like bacon flavor or what, applewood smoked.
Oh, okay, yeah. See, I like the maple, obviously. But I like, when we're talking about syrup with my breakfast sausage. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, well, that too.
Karen says hi. Steph, hi. What's going on, Steph?
Hi, Steph.
Brian Manel's in this joint. John says,
hi, Brian.
I like that Wendy is Bonfire Press and you are not. Fair. I like that too, actually. Don't hold back. Take her over the coals. Oh, I am. I'm definitely raking her over the coals tonight, dude. I'm going to be. And you guys, too, feel free to ask some questions. Tonight is the chance to get the answers. Wendy, how you doing tonight? This is your first official one-on-one interview, isn't it?
Yeah. I've been on some panels, a couple, but not too many. Yeah, this is my first one-on-one.
Yep. Oh, damn, Joseph Dewis. Hey, buddy, good to see you, man.
Yeah, you're gonna.
If you guys have any questions,
Sorry, I said you're gonna have to read the comments because I don't have my glasses on. I can't see them.
Oh, I got them. Why do you not have your glasses on?
Because I can actually see the screen a little bit better without my glasses. I put them on and I feel like I have to squint the whole time. Oh, maybe that is a little better. We'll try it.
You're a keeper. You're going to make somebody a very happy man.
Maybe. One day.
One day, yeah, perhaps. Oh, yeah, Brian Manhell. Questions, you say. Yeah, he's our man for that.
Ask away, Brian.
So let's start the way we usually start. I kind of know the answers, but not 100%. And I'll probably be asking you a bunch of questions where I have an idea, but this is our chance to just get into it. So, Wendy, because you are both in this, like you have a comic coming out soon, but you also have a novel. So you're both a prose and comic writer, or you're about to be, and you've edited. You have like what, 4 credits so far?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know, 5 or 6.
I think of 2 Belials. Oh.
3. I edited it. It's not out yet, but I did edit it. Number 3.
Did you say? Well, yeah, I didn't count 3, but that's fine.
And then
okay, so you have.
So then there's the one that we don't talk about. Then there's the one for Rob that I did. Was it 1 or 2? No, just the one, I think, for Rob. Rob Anderson. And then the 2 Cthulhu projects.
Yeah. Joseph is learning how to count. Oh, Wonderland! That's right!
Yeah.
I forgot about Wonderland.
Wow.
Yeah.
You hear that, Travis?
I was thinking about the Collective.
I didn't edit the Collective.
No, you wrote it. I was talking about writing and editing. Credits overall.
You just said edit, so.
Wendy. So Steph Wilson asked the real question. Between you two, who loves Chris Mad more?
It's a different kind of love, Steph.
It is. I actually got to spoon with the guy, and we have pictures, so I kind of feel like I win, but whatever. How could you forget? Indeed. Okay, so origin, Wendy. What would you say is the origin of you as a comic fan? Let's even say fantasy fan, and then you as a creator.
Ooh. Well, big difference between start of a fantasy fan and comic fan. I've probably been a fan of fantasy since I was, I don't know, 12 or 13 probably.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the first book or movie I might have read or seen that inspired that. It just kind of gravitated towards it, I guess slowly, whatever. But the first books I did read that really drew me into fantasy was Dragonlance series. And I believe I started the first one. I want to say it was the year it came out. So 1984, 5, somewhere around in there. Read the first book of the original trilogy, and I just couldn't stop. I had to get all the books. So that started the love of fantasy, Dragonlance. As far as comics, I honestly don't remember the first one or series that I read, but the one that really made me realize that comics was a medium that I could really enjoy was Ultimate Spider-Man. And I think I started reading that before I really got into Witchblade. But I can't remember. It was one or the other. I was reading both of them at the same time. I know that. So I just don't remember which one of them I started first. So yeah, it was either Ultimate Spider-Man or Witchblade that got me into comics. Never really considered actually writing comics until well after you got into it. I was more than happy to sit back and watch the process and watch you enjoy getting your stories out there with the idea that eventually I would write my stories in prose. The only Wolverine I've read is when he was part of the X-Men. I don't actually think I've read the Wolverine series I don't remember reading it, so I don't think I have. I think I read Old Man Logan, right? That was a series on its own, like a little mini series or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I read that. But it's so hard for me to separate what I've actually read and what you have told me about while you're reading it or whatever. It's almost like I read them vicariously through you. So and it's hard
Right.
for me to
I
kind
like
of
that.
separate them. Um, so yeah, and in writing, I really didn't start writing until after I'd been overseas for about 12 years, and I got with I started role playing I started role playing when I was 13, but I found a role playing group in Holland when I was there, and kind of rekindled that love of role playing. And then I didn't get to do it while I was in Germany. I looked for a group, couldn't find anybody, and when I got back, when we moved to the States, I was in New Mexico, and I wasn't working, and I needed something to fill my time, my day, and I really wanted to get back into role playing. So I started looking online. I found email role playing groups. I found all different kinds of role playing groups, and then I finally stumbled across a play by post role play game, and that's that it really intrigued me and whatnot. And I was like, well, I don't know how well I can write for this thing, but whatever, I'll give it a shot. And then I discovered that I really liked writing as well. So that was in
Yeah.
1998. So that's
Yeah.
when I really started doing some creative writing.
That's cool.
Did
Steph
that answer the
Wilson.
question?
It did. It definitely did. Yeah. Chuck is definitely a Kender. Actually, you're not even wrong, dude. You're
Yep,
you're
we've
pretty
had that
close.
discussion.
Yeah. Yeah. You're pretty right. Cool, dude. We have holy shit. There is a bunch of really good questions here. Actually, holy shit.
Good.
Let's. Well, first off, Steph. Oh no, not this one. Steph said something else a little later. Oh yeah, that's okay. Wolverine sucks. Fuck yourself, dude. What the hell would you know? You'd like him if he has tits. You probably like X-23, you bastard. Um, yeah, let's go with this one. Joseph says, "Do you have any favorite fantasy or sword and sorcery comics?"
Um, I haven't read a whole lot. In fact, the only one I can really remember reading is Sojourn, and I loved that series. I thought it was
Yeah.
amazing. I was so disappointed to read that he wasn't going to be able to finish it. Uh, well, now my memory escapes me. I can't remember if he passed away. I don't remember what happened, but and I forgot the name of the author. Um, I'm sure someone in the chat can remind us, but it wasn't going to get finished, and I was so upset. And then I found out that his son was going to finish it up for him or whatever,
Mm.
and so that was really nice, and he got to finish it, and he did a good job. So yeah, really, I think that's the only fantasy comic I've actually read.
Harlan Buck.
Oh well, yeah. I don't know. Every time I think of Harlan Buck, I know it's a fantasy, but I don't know why I think Western. That kind of gets stuck in my head, and I don't know why.
It's because it's got that feel, man. It's very
It
much like a
does.
fantasy western.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
like
Harlan Buck is an
just like
awesome
Star
series.
Wars has that. Yeah.
Yeah. We're talking about Wolverine. I'm like, no, nope, nope, nope.
Oh yeah, Gambit. Yeah, that's her favorite right there. Um, what would be among your favorite fantasy stories? Any that influence you as a writer?
Oh. Um, influence. It's got to be Dragonlance. I love the way that Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman spun their stories, and I know that they came from from them role playing, which again that really intrigued me that they were able to take this role playing like campaign or world that they had created and worked in for years, role playing it and turn it into a story that the rest of us can enjoy. And the way that they did it was just so like you felt for those characters, you knew those characters, you cried for those characters, and I wanted to be able to do that. So I would say that those writers in Dragonlance were my inspiration as far as actual writing is concerned.
Yeah, Weiss and Hickman, definitely
Yeah.
some amazing writers. I get that. I feel you there. Joseph says Steph should draw the long-awaited X-Women too. Sure, he's super excited about that thought. Um, Dutch role playing. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge. Would you use a Dutch oven for that? I don't know. John asks. Okay, here's a fun one. Did you meet Chuck at LARP?
No, and actually, I've only ever been LARPing once, and it was with Chuck, and I think it was the only time he's actually done it too. But we already knew each other at that point. We met on that play-by-post role-playing game that I was talking about, where I started writing, getting into writing, and I had been playing, I think, for about, I don't know, maybe about 4 to 6 months, maybe.
Yeah, probably about 6 months before me.
Yeah, when Chuck found it through a friend of his, who I had done some role playing with in the game, and then Chuck joined, and then we got the chance to for our characters to interact and whatnot a little bit, not a whole lot, but then his friend, or our kind of mutual friend, thought that we would really connect, and so he's like, "Hey, why don't you just give us a call? We'll chat and blah blah blah," and and here we are.
Yeah, 23 years later.
That was early '99, so yeah.
March of '99. That's right.
Yep.
Hashtag goals. Yeah, so true. Right. Listen to this bullshit. Writing is nice and easy. You know what? You write me a script and then we can talk, Steph. Okay. Until you've done that.
Scripts are different than writing prose. If you're just going to sit down and just write, as long as you have something to write, it's not difficult. But if you want to write it where it's going to appeal to other people, where you want to make sure that it's done properly and grammatically correct, all that kind of stuff, then yeah, it becomes a little bit more involved and whatnot. But if you're just writing just to write because you want to write, yeah, it's easy. I mean, you can just sit down and start typing. Doesn't mean it's fit for other people to read.
Right.
But scripts are different.
Yes. And listen, this fucker. Editing is even easier. Go fuck yourself. So hard. Dying is easy. Editing is hard. Thank you, Joseph. That's true. Shit, what else do we have going on here? Chris Demasma. Sorry, tired, so gonna watch later, but just wanted to say love you both. Aw, thank you, buddy.
Thanks, Chris. Have a good night.
Oh, see, and everyone's giving love to Chris. Much love to Masma. He's a good dude. Jeez. Okay, well, that's all my questions. We're good? Everyone happy? We can go?
You didn't plan this very well, did you?
Okay, you know what? I do. So, let's talk, because you've got your book coming out soon, Viscarian Tales, Marauders Masquerade, which people can go and follow right now.
Yep.
You've had, and I think this is a fair thing to state, you have had a lot of issues trying to bring that book out. You had the script happening in 2019. Now here we are in 2022, and you're just now getting things, finishing it up. Can you tell us a little bit about those difficulties and kind of how you feel like you've had to handle them?
Well, the difficulties have been it's a combination of things. I mean, I believe everyone who I've worked with that's been part of the team, their art and what they do for comics is it's a hobby, it's a second job. It's not their main source of income. Some of them have families. They've started new careers along the way through this journey of getting this book made. The pandemic hit. There's kind of, I think, depression and stuff set in with at least one or two, and it just got very difficult to kind of push through and get things done. So, I mean, I tried to be understanding of the situations with each individual person. But the issue became that they just didn't have the time or could not dedicate the time to doing the project. And me being who I am and it being my first book, maybe I was a little too patient and understanding. I didn't do it. I wasn't pushy enough to try to push the deadlines. But deadlines came and went and came and went and came and went. And so now at this point, as of last Friday, I think it's Friday, Thursday or Friday, I'm on my third colorist. Um, I do have one completed colored page. Um, I went through two line artists, um, and two letterers, and the lettering hasn't even started yet. Um, so it's been quite the struggle. And me at the same time, of course, I've been working full time through the whole thing as well. Um, so I think a lot of it had to do with time constraints and just kind of, on my part, just not putting my foot down, I guess. But then, I mean, what do you do when you're halfway through a book and all of a sudden you're like, I've already paid for half of it. So at this point, how can I just turn around and go, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to have to find somebody else. So just had to deal with it.
Yeah.
But now, and then today I had to announce that I'm pushing it back another 2 weeks because of the changing colorists at the last minute. It was supposed to launch on Sunday, but I'm going to give him an extra 2 weeks. He said that he can pump out the pages. So fingers crossed. And we're going to go to Kickstarter with, at the very least, the preview pages for the campaign page and all the finished covers, except for possibly one. And then by the time the campaign's finished, the book should be completed.
Yeah, but there is one silver lining in all of this that you failed to mention. 2 pencilers, 3 colorists, 2 letters, but only one editor the whole time. That's pretty great.
It's true, and he came at a good cost too. It was good, very very reasonable.
Yeah, was it reasonable though? Because I'm very rarely a reasonable person.
You said it, not me.
Nice. All right. So Brian Manel says, "Does your style of writing influence how you edit other stories as well?"
I try not to not let it, but I mean, I'll be honest. I'm not a story editor. I have a hard time, and it's going to sound funny, especially since I've written prose and a novella. I am not one that sees the big picture. I write by the seat of my pants. The only reason I was able to sit down and break up the scripts for the series I'm working on right now is because that story's already been told in the role-playing game that Chuck and I created. That story was told there, so I'm just breaking it down and basically rewriting it because it's been so long. There's no way I could remember exactly what happened. So I'm hitting the major points with the story. But I'm not a story editor. I'm more of a I can recognize when things maybe don't quite make sense. I might not be able to come up with really good suggestions on how to fix it. I try. And I'm not one who can connect the thing that happened on page 1 to something that happens on page 18 and go, "Ooh, I see what you did there." Because I'm going to forget about what happened on 1, that little tiny nuance. I'm going to forget it by the time I hit page 18. I'm not going to notice it. I'll still enjoy the story. I just might not pick up on it. So I'm more of a proofreader. I'm really good with grammar, that kind of thing. So, and spelling. Yes, I'm a spelling Nazi sometimes. But yeah, I'm not a story editor. Don't ever try to hire me as a story editor. I will turn you down.
I'm glad to know that you're turning other people down. I love this. Chuck has to cameo in VT as a Kender. We don't have Kender in our world, but we do have Halflings. So, yeah, I'd be very interested in that. That would be a lot of fun. I'm very interested in that.
We do have a Halfling character that's going to show up eventually.
Brian says I'll have to ask Wyndi more about writing, the hardest part of the process. Yeah, indeed. Krista's in the house. Hey, what's up?
Hi, Krista.
Oh, she says she has a great flatter. Actually, our pages are flat, so we are good. But thank you. I will remember. We'll remember that down the line. Um, I am streaming from my car. Yes, yes, I absolutely am. Um, Chuck, yes, I don't live in my car, but some nights I'm sure Wendy
Feels like
wishes
it.
that I would stay here. Yeah. Oh yeah. With how much I'm working in it, fuck. She just keeps staring at the oh shit hand. I love the holy shit handle. I love it. And there's some people that I drive with where I feel like I'm holding on to it a lot. Um, what?
Not
Holy
me.
shit! There's a lot going on here. Um, I I'm trying to look at you. Root for completed books. Yeah, yeah. Anytime it can be completed or close to complete, that's huge. Except the Waffle House drive-through. Hey Wendy, what's your order while I'm here?
I don't think I've ever actually
Um,
eaten at Waffle House.
I don't think I have either, but we've done so many. The problem is when we do road trips, we only want to like drive through and go. Like we're going the whole time, so there's no bullshit stopping. We don't do like that. We pick it up and run. And Chris is, of course, says life hits you when you least expect it. Yeah, and it hits a lot and it hits hard. Drawn talk. Yes, this is the greatest episode. We agree, man. Hey, usually you're live now, man. It's nice to see you in the chat, buddy.
Hi, Tyler.
Uh, Thank you, Cav. Nice to see you. Story editing is a different skill from proofreading. Need both, absolutely. The oh shit handle has a stretch goal. Yeah, I'm sure. Well, I have 4 of them, so yeah, I'm sure we can afford to give at least one away.
Make sure it's one in the
Dude.
backseat.
Yeah, because who cares about the kids? um, hmm. So, geez, you know what's funny? I was driving around today and I had a million questions, and now they're all gone. I'm just excited to be hanging out here with you. Um, Need to lose some weight, or I'm gonna have these oh shit handles forever. Oh, dude, I feel you. I like that they call them love handles because it just means I'm full of love. Second greatest, watching Chuck fangirling Matt. Was I fangirling? I didn't feel like I was. Was I really?
Maybe
I
a
thought I
little.
was being. I was trying to be. Really? I thought I was being all professional and shit. Ah, well. It was so cool to have a motherfucking show. How could you not? Um. Well, okay. So, what? Now that you're in the indie comic world, and you're reading a lot of indie comics, and you are becoming very very well known for like sharing a lot of indie comics and showing off Kickstarters and that kind of stuff. It was not sad, Steph. Fuck you. Hey, Alan, good to see you, buddy.
Hey, Alan.
Um, so with that in thought, are you? What are some of your favorite indie comics out there right now?
Tart. Kevin Joseph's just he just launched yesterday, right? I think, or maybe late last week. I can't remember. I think it was
I
yesterday.
believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. Tart is an amazing series. Love it, love it, love it. So yeah, Tart. No, I mean it's a little bit older. Oh, well, you want to know current things, I guess. So Madeline Holly Rosing just finished Kickstarter for her latest Boston Metaphysical Society book, and I have not read all of them yet. I do have almost all of them. I need to read them, but I have read a couple of them, and they're awesome. Really, really good. She's an amazing storyteller. I love the Harlan Buck series. These are some older ones, but I love the Harlan Buck series. Broke Down in 4 Dead Bodies is one of my favorite. There's a few that I'm really excited to read, and I haven't had a chance to yet. But and I'm so gonna forget the names of them now. What's that? Rob Multari's series.
Well,
Which
Oh,
one is
Lone
that?
Wolf or whatever it is.
No, it's not Lone Wolf, but yes, it's something Wolf. Sorry, Rob.
It's the Wolf.
But his
Yeah.
series, and then the one from Nicholas Mueller, Raven.
Raven Demon Hunter.
Yes, I want to
Demon
read
Hunter
that one.
Raven.
I've got Demon Hunter Raven. There you go. I'm really interested in reading that one. So yeah, there's several series that, like I said, I have them. I just haven't really had a chance to really get into them yet. And then Tyler's the girl with the mega fist, loved it. Been watching his progress on the next volume. I'm on a patron on his Patreon, and we get to see the chapters as he completes them, and the progress and stuff. And it's so fun to sit there, and he's so excited about it. It's so fun to watch him just gush over this. He gets so excited when he talks about it, and it's a good story. It's a really good story. I've enjoyed that one. I know there's other ones. I just can't think of anything right now. Tales from Nocturnia, loved that one. I'll be honest with Steph and Matt, haven't got into Heirs of Isildur yet. Eventually, but I did love Nocturnia. So, and I probably left some out, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, that's fine.
Well,
you worked on that, so I didn't feel like that was a fair one to mention. I rarely mention stuff that I've worked on. Paul Gomez says, "Hi and bye, beautiful people. Life is dragging me away. Great show as always. Thank you, buddy. Hey, I don't know if you noticed, but Wendy and I are going to be at Dallas Fan Expo, so we'll see you there. Have a good night, homie."
Paul.
Well, Wendy, be honest, Essence House was overhyped.
Well, he did say comics, to be fair.
Well, and I mean, what was nice about that for you, because you have had an issue, and I think this is a fair statement to say, with reading novels. It basically, like, it puts you to sleep.
Yeah.
In the time that Wendy and I have been married, 23 years, she has read one book.
No, I have finished one book.
Oh, yeah, sorry, that's true.
I've started several.
That's a fair statement. Yeah, I think what made Essence House easy for you was you didn't have to read it.
Yeah. I can listen to it on my way to work.
Yeah. Joseph is waiting for the oversized version, Essential Essence House. So we have a new special episode coming out in the next month. Later this year, we're going to be starting season 4. And we do have an anthology that is in the works as well, with a bunch of short stories and such. So we're actually probably going to get to something like that. Oh, Wendy just lost her camera or something.
No,
are you still there?
Fine. Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. Are you smoking a cigarette?
I am. I'll admit that I am, but I'm not going to show it on camera.
Okay, fair enough. That's good of you, by the way. Sam says, if you had to write a book for Marvel or DC, Image, Top Cow, what character will you do? Dude, you mentioned Top Cow. I already know what she's going to say.
I bet you don't know.
Oh, well, okay, I guess not.
I would write a Magdalena piece.
Oh, okay.
Either that
I was still right when I said Top Cow.
Yes. Magdalena or Jackie Estacado, The Darkness.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dude, the mosquitoes are kind of bad in here.
Why are the windows down?
Because it's fucking hot! It's still Texas.
Well, we had a cool front come through. It's only 80 degrees.
Only 80 degrees inside of a car that is filled with body heat.
No, it's 80 outside the car.
Right. Now that you've had a chance to create your own book, what would you do different if you could go back and start over? Hire different people.
What would I do different? I think I would ask for a little bit more advice. I mean, I did. I had a lot. I have a lot of people. I'm lucky. I have a lot of people that I'm surrounded by, who I know that I can go to and ask questions and whatnot. Get a lot of feedback. But there was a lot of questions I didn't think to ask, like how to um, set goals for my team, not just me, but for my team, and how to make sure that they stuck to those goals, and then what would be the consequences if if that didn't happen. I never thought to ask anything like that. I naively assumed that if someone was given a job, that they would just do it, and without thinking about what I mentioned earlier, that they have other jobs, they have their family. One of them started a school during the process. There's just things happen, and I get that. And then same with me. I changed jobs from the
Yeah.
time I finished my script until now. I've had 3 different jobs. Um, no, four different jobs. Um, so I mean, I get that life gets in the way, and all that kind of stuff, and you have to kind of make concessions for that, and I don't have a problem with that. But I didn't think to ask the right questions, I think.
Yeah.
So I think if I had to do it over, um, I would try to ask the right questions, just so that I knew more of what I was getting into and how to handle it.
That's fair. Karen says, "Hey, I was supposed to spoil the Essence news. I spoiled your spoiling." um. Uh. What else we got going on here? Um. Ooh, yeah. See, Steph would love to do a Top Cow cover. Maybe you should have kissed Matt's ass. Then it might have helped you. Not even Texas weather will stop the mosquitoes. No, they fucking love it. Well, yeah, it's 93 degrees where you are, but it's still like daylight where you are. Texas weather encourages the mosquitoes. It really does. And artists are such drama queens. I agree with that. Especially cover artists. Holy fuck. Oh, can they not shut the fuck up? Oh, I can draw one pretty picture. I'm so good. Yeah, way to fucking go. Try doing more than one on a page, dick. Big Butt Steve is cute.
Or some backgrounds.
Ooh, backgrounds, yeah. With feathers and lace.
Oh, I'm going to have forests and, I don't know.
Lots of foliage, yeah. And he has to draw every leaf and all the veins inside of it and stuff, yeah.
Was that veins? They're called veins on the leaves? I don't know.
I don't fucking know. I have no idea. I just called them that. Pirate shirt bursting at the buttons. Yeah. Issue 3 for sure.
Yep.
Brian had to still. Oh.
Leather halter top. Yeah.
Yeah. All that stuff. Brian had to step away, but how's it like translating your story into comic form?
It wasn't as difficult as I thought it would be, but at the same time, the most difficult part of the process, I think. Oh, I can turn my camera back on. I think the most difficult part of the process was deciding what to include and what was okay to leave out, because when you write prose, there's a lot more there's a lot more words, there's details, there's how the characters are feeling, all this kind of stuff that's included. And when you write a script, you have to be able to include as much of that as you feel is necessary, but that's only in the description for the artist. It's not, your reader's not going to read that. They'll see it in the pictures, hopefully. But knowing what to include and what can be left out was probably the hardest part of the process. Probably the longest part of the process as well. But it still wasn't, even
well, and
with
so
that in mind, it wasn't as difficult as I thought it would be.
So, and there's the funny thing is that, like, anyone who knows your prose writing knows that you're very description heavy. That tends to be your main things. Joseph, by the way, guys, it's 44 degrees here. Yeah,
So,
I'd rather be in the 80s and 90s, actually.
no,
Fuck that.
I'd rather be where he is.
Nah. Um, anything, well, yeah. I could handle the cold. I just don't want to. Fuck pants. And 44, I could still wear shorts, but it means that at some point it's going to drop even lower, and I'm not interested. Um, so yeah, you tend to be very description heavy. Did you feel that you were a little hamstrung when you couldn't kind of lean on that as much in comics?
Yeah, a little bit because I had to decide, um, kind of, what was okay to leave out and what I needed to include, and I really had to make it very bare bones as far as describing what I wanted in very few words, basically,
Yeah.
which I'm not used to. So I did. It's funny, I think a lot of people who write scripts, when they have to kind of pare it down, it's more of, well, what scenes can we cut out and it's still okay, that kind of stuff. I had to pare down my descriptions for my pages. Some of them took up like half of the page, and I'm like, yeah, I really shouldn't be sending the artist that much. Like, he just needs enough to be able to understand what they're supposed to draw. So yeah, I had to cut a lot of that out. I will say, I think that because I've done both, going from prose to comic or to script is much easier than going from a script to prose. That is not an easy process because you're taking a very kind of, like I said, pared down version of a story, and you're trying to really flesh it out and add to it and make it fuller. And in this instance, for this book, it wasn't that difficult for me because, like I said before, the story's already there. Um, for me, it was already there. It's already been played out. So I just had to kind of try to. I had to recall as much of the story as I could.
Yeah.
Some of it doesn't go along with what happened initially and whatever, but it doesn't matter. I had to keep reminding myself that because, like, well, these people they weren't part of that game. They don't know what the story was or what happened or whatever. But it is the story that I wanted to tell, so I had to kind of pick and choose what the important parts were and write that. So
Yeah. So we have a special person coming in. Steve Vicken is here, Wendy's cousin. He says, "Okay, I'm late. Question: Chuck, why you in the damn car? Did Cuzzy Wuzzy Wendy kick you out? Do I need to come get you?" Okay, so here's the thing. I'm in the car because our house is small, and almost no matter where I go in the house, you'll hear me over Wendy's speakers and whatnot. So I thought I would come out to the car, make it a little easier. It's harder for you to hear me from outside. So that's that. And yeah, don't worry, I'm fine. Fuzzy pineapple. Fuzzy pineapple. Everything's
hi,
good.
Steve.
Hey, Steve. That was so fucking. That was so innocent. I'm doing nothing. Yeah, no, I'm fine. Don't worry.
I don't have an oh shit handle.
No, you did when I was in there. You had multiple. Uh, Steve says it's pouring there. Oh, lucky you. Actually, I could handle some rain right about now.
Well, yeah, he's only about an hour north of us. You know what? It's because it split when it hit the lake, and you got the
Yeah.
top half of it, and the other half went down to San Antonio, and we
Yeah.
got nothing.
He loves you. That's sweet.
Love you, Steve.
Just yeah, same here, buddy. Jason says, "How many issues are we talking for the story to have a complete arc?"
It's going to be three books that will tell Renella's origins. It's going to end. So, oh, what is that? I just got a warning. National Weather Service severe thunderstorm warning. Oh, there you go, Steve. Little late, but there you go. No, so little background, and I'm surprised you haven't brought it up yet. I don't know if you had planned on it or not, but so a little background. Chuck and I mentioned before that we met playing a play-by-post role-playing game. which for those of you who don't know what that is, it's just basically you create a character to interact in this world that's already been set out for you. We played in a world called Alaria, and you create a character that that fits in with that world, and you write what your character says and does, um, in as like a role playing thing. So it's creative writing. You're writing as that character, and you interact with other characters, and you have moderators come in and tell what your surroundings look like and things that happen around you, and things like that. And through all of that, you're creating a story. Well, Chuck and I, when we stopped playing that game, we decided that we wanted to create our own, and so we started discussing it. And in December of 1999, we launched Visible Dreams, which that was our play-by-post role-playing game. We ran that for a little over 10 years, with a bit of a hiatus towards the end, where we had to take a break from it. But so this character that I'm writing this story for was the character that I played in that game. Well, one of the many characters I played in that game. And this story, this first 3 books, is her story of the land that these people came from. The history that we made for the world was they all lived in a country called Baril, and which was ruled by a really crazy, tyrannical king. Um, Magic was outlawed, so no one could learn how to use magic except for very select people who he used as a kind of a secret service kind of thing. And they policed magic and whatnot. And so a lot of these people that lived there decided they wanted something better. So they planned an exodus from this land to go discover a new place to live. And where our game picked up was where these people had already discovered a new area where they could make their home. And it's the story of these people building that home. They created cities and discovered races and all kinds of stuff as the game was going. And my story starts with this character as a young girl growing up on a farm with her parents, and ends with her getting on one of those boats and leaving for this new land that they discovered.
Spoiler alert.
I don't think it's that much of a spoiler. Um, so the following stories are going to be other characters from that game, and telling their stories, either of them leaving Burial and going to the new place, or once they've already been there, or maybe their journey, or whatever. We have it laid out. We have several different characters. We've already decided that we want to tell their stories and whatnot. We just haven't finished outlining all of them yet. But as of right now, I mean, there's endless possibilities. There are so many characters we could write about, different times within the history of what happened, things that we could write about that never happened. There's just in that setting. There's just, like I said, endless possibilities. So who knows how many books we're going to end up doing with this. But this initial 3-book story is just the character that I played, and where she came from, and the beginning of her journey.
I love that you just went on a great, wonderful tirade for about 5 or 10 minutes, and the only question that was asked was, how many issues is it going to be? And you're like, let's go. Poor Steph has to wait till issue 3. That's because she's young in the first 2 issues.
Doesn't matter. We'll see what we could possibly do for 2. I have I don't know if I want to say specific, but I have an idea in mind for a cover that I would love Steph to do, and it's just not going to fit with the story until we get to 3. That's all it is.
It's all those Chris Mad covers. Steph seems he is very jealous of Chris Mad. He loves Chris, but that's true. And you know what's funny is Chris actually has talked to me this morning. He's like, "Hey man, I really want to chat with you." And I was like, "Well, dude, I'm pretty busy today." And he's like, "Well, can you call me tonight?" So literally, once we're done this, I have to call Chris Mad. So the bromance is real. Chris is a little background heavy for my taste. That's a fair statement. Um, okay, so did you went through a lot of that? Um, what are there any other um moments or scenarios that yeah, that you're excited to write about, like as this story moves forward? Like, can you tell us some of the moments in this that you think people might be excited for or interested in?
Yeah, but it's so far down the line. I think the worst part about doing this whole thing. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, no, I meant for this little 3-issue series.
Okay. I thought you meant for the whole, these stories
Yeah,
as
yeah,
they
yeah.
go along. Um, um, you know, I really would like. I want to get that message that some writers kind of hope for, and I want to get that message when people finish reading the first issue, finish the second issue, where they message me and go, "You're just freaking mean." So yeah, just to get those last pages, they're they're not nice. So I'm really curious and excited to see how people receive those. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Now,
would say that's pretty much it.
Brian says you're adding color to your story. How does it feel seeing the story from black and white and now going into color?
You know, pers- I wanted to see this story or these stories in color or in images so much that I taught myself how to use Photoshop. So when we were running the game, I would find I wasn't working, so I was at home. I was a stay-at-home mom, and I would spend my day finding black and white images that I really liked that I thought portrayed maybe a certain character in the game or whatever, and I would color it because I wanted to see these characters in color and kind of brought to life and whatnot. So it's exciting. It's very exciting to see the story come to life through the colors and the images and whatnot. Yeah.
I mean, you basically taught yourself Photoshop to do that.
Yeah, I did. That's why I don't know how to use all the functions. I got so excited the other day because I finally figured out how to use layers after how I don't know how many years, almost 20 years I've been using Photoshop up and on. I hadn't used it in many years up till recently, but I tried for so long to figure out how to use the layers, and I could never figure it out. So all the coloring I did was on just the background, just the main image. Everything was colored
Right.
on there. If I messed up, oh, guess what? Got to erase it, redo it, whatever. Um, but I did it, and I still enjoyed it.
I love this. Joseph says color blasphemy. Yeah, most of his stuff is black and white.
Yeah.
Is Super Heresies the only thing that's color that you've done, Joseph? Because yeah, he does. He's very black and white heavy. I can't
By the way,
even.
I was gonna say. By the way, that's another really good story. Is his Bless the Children. That's a really good one.
Dude,
I'm
yeah,
really happy he's letting me use it as a as a digital in the stretch goals for my campaign.
yeah.
Thank you,
So
Jeff. Thank you,
Brian,
Jesse.
Brian has a question, but it was kind of already answered. Oh, you had a few other color. Okay, cool. It was kind of already answered, but he says, "How's it feel working with a creative team? It sounded like you had some issues early on. Any tips or things you learned while working with a creative team?"
Um, it's been difficult. I have to say I don't know if it's kind of I almost think it's kind of payback because every other aspect of creating a comic for me has been fairly simple because I have so many people that I'm surrounded by that have been willing to step up and help, answer questions, give advice, all this kind of stuff. Um, so I had all that, and then when it came down to putting a team together to actually create the book, then that's when I started running into issues. And I said it before. I think there was questions I should have asked, advice I should have asked for that I didn't think of because I'm new. And there's only so much you can learn, though it is a lot and a fair bit you can learn by just listening and watching. Watch podcasts, watch interviews, listen to what people are saying, the advice they're giving, that kind of thing. And it doesn't mean that all of it's great, but the more you listen to, the more you're going to absorb and learn how to do things in a way that it works for you. It's some things work for some people, some and not for others. But the more you listen to and the more questions you ask and all that kind of stuff, the more you're going to settle on something that works for you and can get the job done. But yeah, I think I just got unlucky. I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I don't want to say anything bad about anybody because I really don't have any hard feelings towards anyone that was part of the team, whether they're part of it now or they were. Things just happen, and I have no ill will, no hard feelings towards any of them. I still, chat and whatnot with all of them except the one that decided to block me. But yeah, whatever, that's life, I guess.
I feel you there, dude. I was trying to reach up to something on the phone, and I actually turned on the window washers or the window wipers. So you're talking into the background. It's going. It's like if they could see what was happening right now, I would look like such a fucking idiot.
No, you can turn on the rear window wipers.
No, it was the front.
Oh,
So it's behind the phone, luckily.
right.
But yeah, that's why I was like, if you guys could see this right now, holy shit. Joseph says had serious sticker shock when I looked up printing prices for color books after 2.5 years. Yeah, dude. Especially now that prices have gone up because of the paper shortage and shit. Fuck, it's rough,
Yep.
man. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a concern of mine is because of the cost of having the book made. It means that even though this is my first campaign, I'm having to set my goal higher than I would have wanted to, So it's a bit of a, excuse me, it's a bit of it's a little nerve wracking and anxiety inducing. But I mean, I literally am setting my goal to exactly what I need to cover the cost to get the book out there. So here's hoping.
It's funny because like the difference in the 4 years since I put out my first book and since you're putting this out is huge. Because 4 years ago I had a $1,500 goal, which would pay for everything, and I had $5 for a physical book, and now it's like no, not that. You're going for a $3,000 goal, which is actually tight for you. You might even, like if you thought that you could ask for more, you probably would. And you're asking, I think, around $10 a book, right?
12, yeah.
Yeah. It's tough. That's really tough.
Yeah.
But is that 12 with shipping included?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So more like almost like $8 a book then.
Yeah, approximately between 7 and 8. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, that's pretty cool. Brian asks, what sort of questions do you think are important in looking for someone to hire?
I think that first of all, you need to ask them, what kind of time they have available. And some people might think that this is going a little too far and maybe getting personal in some way or whatever. Ask them what other projects they're working on. They don't have to tell you specifically which ones, but how many other projects are they working on? Because I found I think one of the issues that I had was that one of my team members was just working on way too many things at one time. And, I mean, that's neither here nor there whether he should have done that, but the fact is I believe he did. And so it slowed all of his work down. So find out, how many projects are they on? Ask them for an average, what's their average completion rate as far as how long does it take them to do a page? And that way you can set a deadline for them of, okay, well, if you can complete a page in, 2 days, then I need you to complete the whole book. Give them a little bit of leeway, figure out what that amount of time is, and maybe give them 5 extra days or whatever, however you want to work that. But you've got and I guess lay out the consequences for them. Like, look, if you're not meeting the deadlines, then this is what's going to happen. I don't know what those consequences should be. Like I said before, it's like, to me, it got to the point where it's like, okay, well, we're already halfway through the book, but it's been, a year and a half or whatever, and I've already paid for half of it. Do I switch now and just lose that and start all over again, and now have to completely pay another artist to start over, and repay all that money? Most of us can't afford to do that. So I got to come up with some way of holding them accountable so that they can finish the work in the amount of time that they're given. And I think knowing how busy they are can help determine that. Unfortunately, you might, the artist you might want to work with, or a colorist or whoever that you might want to work with, if they're involved in too many projects, then it just might not be worth your time to have them on that book. Maybe another book down the road or something. But
well, and to be fair, we did things like we offered bonuses. We did at one point say, look, if you can get it done by this time, which was a very fair period of time, we'll throw on an extra $100, or I don't remember how much it was, but we did offer a bonus, and they were like, I'll try, and didn't even come close. But I mean, we try it. Just sometimes you can just do everything you can, and it just isn't going to happen.
Yep. Like I said, I think it just circumstances got in the way. I think unfortunately, I think everybody that I brought onto my team ran into roadblocks along the way, and things just happened in their lives that made everything for them slow down. Not just my book, and I just got unlucky.
Yeah, well, and of course you did it. I mean, basically, it ran all the way through COVID too. So yeah.
Yep. I got my first page of art in, I think it was October of 2019. I want to say it wasn't a page; it was a concept. I think it was in October. I got the first completed page of art in January of 2020, and then COVID hit, and just kind of screwed everything up.
Well, and here's the funny thing: our Christmas 2019 was so exciting because show that behind you. For Christmas, I got that for Wyndi. I commissioned that from Avery Ferdinand. He made that and then we set it all up. And I was like, look, I know how hard it is to work and not have any art, so I got you a cover. And obviously, I still have the video. I watch it every now and then of you opening it. But the funny thing is, she got that, and now here we are, 2.5 years later, still trying to get that book out. And do you remember the big present that you got for me that year?
The record player? Was it the record player?
What's that?
Was it the record player?
No. That was the year before, I think. No, it was my cart for conventions.
Yep.
She got me this amazing cart that holds all of my stuff for conventions, which, by the way, that thing is invaluable. It's amazing. I fucking love that thing. But she got that for me Christmas of 2019, and I didn't end up doing a fucking con again until June of 2020 or 2021. So it was like a year and a half later before I actually got to open and use the thing. So, I mean, that Christmas was so filled with promise, and we got nailed hard for that.
Yep. But I got that, and it actually is going to be, it's my variant cover A. So, yeah.
Well, and isn't that also...
What?
No, you first.
I was going to say that represented the book before the book ever existed.
Yeah.
in any kind of physical form whatsoever.
And aren't you using that also for a cover for the novella when it comes out?
Yep.
So we're now over an hour. You've been doing really good. How you feeling?
I'm fine.
Yeah?
Yep.
Enjoying yourself?
Yeah.
Good. Is it cool in there?
It's okay. It's a little warm.
Same here. um, do you have, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to ask.
Evidently, he didn't prepare enough, so ask away, guys.
We're an hour in, and I've asked you some pretty solid questions. Really? Young lady. So, oh my gosh, what the hell was that? That was beautiful. That's what that was. Oh, she's handled my hard-hitting questions most impressive. She's good, man. I told her she's good. Actually, here was a question that I wanted to ask, and so I don't think we've talked too much about this, but I am interested because there are a lot of fun and interesting power couples in comics, and especially in indie comics. You're talking about Steph Wilson and Carrie Ann, Travis and Heather Gibb, and then you and myself. There's definitely others too. So, what I would ask you, what are you laughing at?
I thought you were talking. You said power couples in comics. I'm thinking Gambit and Rogue, and
I meant as creators. So, with that being said, usually there is kind of like one who's a little more, like if you think about those three couples that I mentioned, you've got Travis and Heather. Travis has been in the game longer, and he's a loud personality. Steph and Carrie Ann, same thing, and Steph also loud personality. So with this couple, you and me, I would consider myself a loud personality. If I'm wrong, feel free to say otherwise. How hard is that to, I guess what I would say is, what are the pros and cons to that situation, and how do you deal with that?
well, I'd say there's more pros than cons. Because I'm not a very outspoken or loud person. Um, so I'm more than comfortable just sitting back and basically listening and soaking in and whatnot. So I don't really have an issue with that. I guess the only really con about it is that sometimes because you're more, like you said, loud, more prominent, whatever, however you want to say it. Um, and
That's not what I was trying to do. I was asking just in general, and I'm sure there's some cons to it. That's why I'm asking.
um, so there's sometimes there's situations where the two of us are both involved in something, and and because you have the more dominant personality and whatnot, and you have more experience in the community and whatnot, um, I can be talked over sometimes, but at the same time, it's not just you. It's just in a general thing. So um, that's really it.
Okay. Ooh, Wendy Steenshiner is in the house. Wendy, please show off your amazing Kickstarter. Feel free to put the link in there. Guys, this book is so awesome. It is a kid's fantasy book about a special little dragon named Luna, and she's awesome. So please check it out. It just dropped today. Yours truly got to write in there. Wendy created an amazing character that we're all having so much fun with. Show it off. And even
Hi,
Joseph
Wendy.
Wendy. Um, so Joseph asked, "Did you build the world first, then story, or vice versa?"
We built the world first. We came up with the world, and it's really cool because even though it's not online anymore, um, if y'all don't know about Wayback Machine, y'all are missing out. If there's any old websites that you kind of felt nostalgic about or whatever, go to Wayback Machine. You probably be able to find it somewhere. Now they're just mostly like screenshots or whatever of pages, but I one of so we had the game on several different sites, hosted by different sites throughout the history of it, and you can find it on through Wayback Machine on a few of those different sites, but on one of them, you can actually still click on the links, and it will actually take you to. You can't go to the message boards and read the stories, the actual role playing that happened, but we had we had a world. We built the world. We had a mythos filled with gods. Actually, we didn't call them gods. They were entities. Um, it had our religion laid out, which was actually had to do with magic and the entities. So we had all of this, the whole like lore and whatnot of the game, pretty much done before we started thinking about what the story was. Now, we did come up with the idea that these people were going to leave the kingdom of Burial, and that's how the story would begin, and we would build on that. But we had to come up with, the history of that world to explain why was it so horrible that a huge segment of the population of this kingdom would want to just leave and to who knew they didn't know where they were going. They didn't know if they were going to sail for, months, weeks, or whatever, and never find anything and end up like starving or dying of disease on these ships or circling, or they didn't know if it was a circle, but just sailing until they hit the other shore of the same land they just left. They didn't know, but they had to take that chance. That's how bad it was. And so we developed all of that before we really got into the story and opened up to bring characters in and have them start writing the story of this new land that they discovered. So yeah, I think for the most part, for me anyway, I like to have at least some kind of background of the world I'm working with. May not be completely fleshed out yet, but at least there's some basis to work on, a foundation to work on and build from.
Good call. I feel you there. Congratulations, Wyndi, on funding. That's amazing. I jumped on. I had to get me a book. I'm so excited to be able to read that and see it. Dude, it's such a fun little book, and fantasy for kids, dude. How could I not get behind that? Absolutely. So excited. I've been talking about that one for like 6 months. Excuse me. Cool. Wyndi, do you have anything else you want to chat about before we end up heading out?
No, I don't think so. Just make sure. I don't know if anyone put it in. Thank you, Wyndi. You're awesome.
You are.
I don't know if anyone put it in the chat, but if someone wants to put up the link for the pre-launch page, if you'll go there and click on that, I have 65 followers on the pre-launch, which I'm really excited about. I'd like to get it up to 75. So we've got about, what is it, 3.5 weeks? About 3.5 weeks now. I did push the date to June 14th. It was supposed to be Sunday, but June 14th. So make sure you go and hit the notify button so you don't miss it.
Wyndi said Chuck wrote an awesome story, and you drew an amazing story to go along with what I wrote. I'm so happy. Not only did I get to write something cool with a dragon in a fantasy world, but Wendy Steenschneider did the art for it. So that's just, it's amazing. Brian has to head out himself. You both are awesome. Have a great night. Thank you so much, buddy. Hope you eventually destroy your... I'll be inside soon, so it's fine. I'm going to be just standing. Thank you, buddy. Much love.
Thanks, Brian.
What's the name of the project? I will find it. It's on. You can find it on Wendy's page right now. It's called Viscarian Tales Marauders Masquerade.
It's the pin. I pinned the post on my Facebook page. It's the very top.
Yeah. And I agree. It was an amazing combo. Thank you, hon. I'm so ecstatic. I actually went back. She sent me the whole story that we did together, and I got to read it again. And I think it's the damn cutest thing ever. I'm just so proud. I'm busting. And course, I'm also so excited about this. I mean, we started this world in '99, so by the time this thing is done, it's going to be 25 years old. So that's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. That's a special place for I think for both of us.
Well, and I mean,
And
it's older than our kids.
yeah, and we have people that had created characters and played in that game that still follow, what we're doing and whatnot. And so excited for them to be able to see these stories come to life too, because they were such a huge part of making those stories possible. And some of
Yeah.
their characters are going to be included in some of the stories down the road, and we actually will probably have them writing those stories.
Speaking of next issue, it's already written.
Mhm. Well,
Whose
yeah,
character's going to show up?
Ben Cook. If y'all
Yeah.
don't, yeah, if y'all don't know who Ben Cook is, he just had his first successful Kickstarter for his first comic, Apex, last winter, summer,
Last year, yeah.
last year. But yeah, he had a very interesting character, actually a couple different interesting characters in the game, and one of his characters will be introduced in the second issue of my series. Very cool, fun dwarf to write. He was a lot of
Mhm.
fun. Um, and I was going to say something else. I forgot what it was.
But yeah, that's going to be absolutely amazing. I'm so excited to see to let you guys see the world, and Wendy, I'm really glad that you made this happen. You're doing an amazing job.
Thank you. I'm trying.
You're doing it. All right, I think we're going to head out. It's been a really great show. Do you have any final words before we leave?
Um, Not really. I'm just thank you for everybody for their support. I've gotten so much support from everyone. Thank you, Wendy. Um, a lot of understanding, a lot of little, kind of pep talks, things like that. Um, and I just want everybody to know if you've ever been worried about, I'm getting down and whatnot because of the way things have gone. Yeah, it's You know what? It's frustrating. That's I can't lie. It's frustrating, but I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm not someone who gives up. I'm used to hitting roadblocks. That's just life, you know. So you figure a way around it or over it or whatever. You deal with it and you move on. So that's just what I've been doing.
Well, and you've made for yourself a pretty good support system, I think.
I think so. Yeah. Like I said, everybody's been very understanding and patient. They've been hearing
Yeah.
about this book for over 2 years, and I'm sure some people are like, "Well, what the hell?" It's where is it? And it's coming. I promise it's coming. Thank you for your patience and your understanding. I really appreciate it and all the support. It's been amazing.
So, guys, another great show. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate Wendy. Thank you for coming out tonight. Thanks for not kicking me out of the house. I'm going to be in to hang out with you very soon.
Okay, good. Hey, can you run to 7-Eleven and get me a drink before you come in?
Motherfucker. I don't even have my shoes on.
You don't have to have shoes on to go into 7-Eleven.
That's actually not incorrect. All right, guys. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate you coming out. Check out the Kickstarter. Wendy Steen Shaner has been amazing to show it off. And of course, check out Luna Tales, which is also going on right now. I'm going to see if I can track that one down. It's somewhere here. It's there. Anyways, yeah. Check out Luna Tales. It's amazing. So many good stuff happening. Go support as many Kickstarters as you possibly can.
And if you're in Dallas the weekend of June 17th through 19th, come see us. We're going to be there.
Oh, yeah. Fan Expo. It's going to be amazing. Can't wait to see all you guys there. Thank you so much, Wendy. I love you very much. I don't get to say that to a lot of guests.
Love you.
Guys, take care. Peace, love, and comics. And remember, my name is Chuck, and I give a fuck.